On the issue of involvement of foreigners, we have foreigners involved in this illegal mining. The involvement of the elite in it, we can't tell. But we know that most of the time, when we catch these foreigners, they will tell us that they have connections. Let me use that word. I don't want to say some things, but sometimes you hand these people over and the next thing you see them released. We have as far as people from that's Burkina Faso coming to mine in Nigeria. So the straightening of our borders too is a factor. Why I'm saying all this is that there is need for the government to equip properly those involved to checkmate most of this illegal mining. There's need for government to equip them properly and also give them the marching order. You know, it's one thing to say and another thing to see that the government is really committed to deal with people. Anybody caught in this illegal mine must be dealt with decisively, and examples should be made for others to know publicly that this is what the government is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman, I must first of all present the compliments of the Chief of Defense Staff to this hearing. And then I have to thank the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives for constituting this committee to look into illegal mining. I think first thing first, in everything we do, the most important thing is willpower. Without willpower, we can't get to any level. And with this hearing, it shows that the willpower is there. Now, sir, coming to illegal mining, I'm going to talk on how the military sees it. There are so many other stakeholders that have one or two things to do, to talk about, sir.
Who are those behind there making noise?
From our various operations, sir, and statistics that we have, we notice that, first of all, the framework guiding mining in Nigeria is very, very weak. It needs to be strengthened. Why do I say so, sir? In 2018 or so, during the last administration, there was a ban on illegal mining in Zamfara area, Zamfara Katsina general area, which even established a no-fly zone. Despite that ban, mining licenses were being issued to people to mine within that zone. So the strengthening of the institutional framework is very key. The leader of the House made mention of something about banning mining for like a year. It is very key we do that. Ban mining all across for 1 year. I know the country is going to somehow feel the effect in terms of revenue, but we need to go a little off the length in order to ensure that we get things right, so that we can decisively deal with those involved in this illegal mining. Then one thing we notice also is that, sir, whether it's coincidence or what, we can't say, but we notice that insecurity thrives where this illegal mining is happening. Someone once said that the issue of banditry and terrorism is like a smoke screen to stop the government and the military from dealing decisively with these people. I can't for sure ascertain that fact, but I know fully well that there is a correlation between insecurity and illegal mining. Now, sir, on the issue of involvement of foreigners, we have foreigners involved in this illegal mining. The involvement of the elite in it, we can't tell. But we know that most of the time, when we catch these foreigners, they will tell us that they have connections. Let me use that word. I don't want to say some things, but sometimes you hand these people over and the next thing you see them released. We have as far as people from that's Burkina Faso coming to mine in Nigeria. So the straightening of our borders too is a factor. Why I'm saying all this is that there is need for the government to equip properly those involved to checkmate most of this illegal mining. There's need for government to equip them properly and also give them the marching order. You know, it's one thing to say, and another thing to see that the government is really committed to deal with people. Anybody caught in this illegal mine must be dealt with decisively, and examples should be made for others to know publicly that this is what the government is doing to ensure that we tackle that area. The third aspect we noted is, or let me say the fourth aspect is poverty. These areas where this illegal mining take place, the people are poor. Virtually lack of education is also part of the thing. Most of them that we get, one way or the other, they no formal education. And this illegal mining is, you know, let me say, the people perpetrating this thing use them. So it's their own source of livelihood, you know, the people within that area. So the army will give a little bit detail on some arrests that we've made or mining sites that we've raided. I'm just talking in general terms, sir. So what is the way forward? The way forward from our own view is that, one, we have to strengthen the regulatory framework for these mining activities, and also empower the agencies involved in checking mining activities for them to do their work. We could go into this banning of mining for a year or two and then properly get the acts right. Anybody seen in committing illegal mining will be dealt with decisively. Then number two, sir, is engaging the international community. In 2011 in Liberia, this same issue we are facing in Nigeria was obvious in Liberia. The international community was approached after they've seen the atrocities of things done, and that's when the issue of blood diamond came up. What did they do? You know, there's a carbon dating on every mineral resources that is in an area in the world. So they banned the Liberia diamond in the international.
Liberia or Sierra Leone, the blood diamonds.
Both. It's Liberia and Sierra Leone, both.
Okay.
Charles Taylor was the main person because that was how they starved him of cash.
Okay.
So they banned it in the international market. So they couldn't access this product. And of course, naturally, the mining activities started dying in those areas. So we could also approach the international community. Within this period that we are going to ban, we are going to ban the mining in Nigeria, to ban any gold from Nigeria in the international market. They can do it. And once that is done, it will reduce this illegal mining effectively. The third one is to engage the communities where these activities are done. And how do we engage them? We could sort of organize lectures through their the languages around there on how sustainable, legal sustainable mining are done and how they can key into it. And also the government could look into also how to give them another source of livelihood. Because sincerely, they live on this mining. Even when it is banned, it's to be difficult to get them out of mining because that is how they survive. So another source of livelihood, the government can look into it, set up a committee to look into it on how to give them another source of livelihood. While the ones that want to be involved in mining will be shown how legal, sustainable mining is being done. And then finally, sir, the government needs to, like I said, show that willpower that they actually want to tackle this thing by ensuring that anybody, no matter how highly placed, that is involved in illegal mining faces the books accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We will need, it's because of the formal application you made why you do not have your memoranda present, but would need you, when you get back to the office, please put a formal memoranda together and send it over to us. And I crave your indulgence that, after all, you're on record, you've been recorded, but it should contain all you have just presented to the House. I would want you to sit down, relax, let's take the rest, or better still, let's take the rest so that we can now engage once and for all. I crave your indulgence, yes? So, Ami.
Chairman, Joint House Committee on Illegal Mining and in Solid Mineral Sectors, distinguished senators and honorable members, I bring greetings from the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tawhid Abiodun Lagbaja. We've sent a memorandum as directed. I'll just give highlight of the content of the memorandum which has been submitted. And as stated in the memo, the Nigerian Army conducts a wide range of operations across all the geopolitical zones of the country. I think virtually as it is now, we have the Nigerian Army deployed in almost every state of the country in one operation or the other. And because of this, what we do basically is to support those agencies that are constitutionally mandated to protect the critical national infrastructures of the country, including mining. And in doing that, in our operations, we've had to contend with illegal miners. And what we do is, after arresting them, we hand them over to the appropriate agency available in that area. Some of these agencies include the Department of State Security Services, the Nigerian Police Force, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Sometimes we do conduct operations together where we go to some of these illegal mining sites together and conduct operations, but because the Nigerian Army cannot prosecute them, we hand them over to those agencies to continue with the prosecution aspect. And as contained in the memo, from December to date, we've arrested 387 individuals in connection with illegal mining. We also have vehicles and also some of these these minerals that were arrested, which were handed over as exhibits to those agencies for them to be prosecuted. In summary, I could say from December till date, In Abia, we have 10 people arrested. In Ebonyi State, we have 12. The Federal Capital Territory and its environs, I mean places like Kuje, Gwagwalada, Buhari, and Co., we've arrested 276 individuals, while in Osun State, we've arrested 19. In Oyo, particularly the northern part of Oyo State, where they share boundary with Kwara State, that's those places are very close to the Old Oyo National Park. We've arrested around 55 people. I think they mine Konzite in that particular place with about 17 trucks loaded with Konzite. In Plateau, we have 25, while in Zamfara, we have 15. When the AVM was talking the other time, he mentioned the issue of the ban of mining activity in Zamfara, but sadly, we still arrested people in that place, meaning that it is still taking place. Just like I said, we continue to collaborate with the agencies that are constitutionally mandated to check illegal mining. But it is because we've realized there is a nexus between insecurity and illegal mining, which the chairman also alluded to in his opening remarks when he said, if you want, you cannot fight illegal mining without fighting insecurity. And at the same time, if you want to actually reduce insecurity in the country, those agencies that are also mandated to fight insecurity must also fight illegal mining. So in terms of challenges, I think the AVM has touched on some of the challenges which we have. I think the AVM, the civil defense men, and the man from Ministry of Solid Minerals, we've actually been involved in the issue of illegal mining, I think, since January. And when I came, I saw them. They are the same people from the agencies that have been handling this. The issue of host community, the AVM touched about it. There is poverty, and they are also involved in it. And I think this makes it very, very difficult to check illegal mining. It is not only the people coming from outside that are involved. The locals benefit from it. But the question is, what is the role of state? What is the role of local government in illegal mining? I think most of the things rest with the federal government, while the state and the local government don't actually have roles to play. I think we need to look for roles for both the state and the local government to get involved. We also discovered some of the companies, some companies have exploration licenses and not mining licenses. So what they do, they use one license to do the two. So I think then the issue of I think okay, the role of state and local government. I think I've talked about this. I think so far this is what the Nigerian Army does. We've mandated every Nigerian Army formation unit to continue to support those agencies that are constantly mandated to fight illegal mining towards ridding our country of illegal mining and improve the economy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. More of an active one as against theoretical. It was more of a practical presentation as against theoretical. Yes, in as much as you adopted a lot of what the Chief of Defense Staff said, the truth is that Chief of Defense Staff is more in directing, while the Army have more boots on the ground. We will appreciate it if you can go a bit further and give us a bit more detail. Also, we would, as much as possible, I'm happy you've already started touching on some of the issues with regards to the way forward. However, there are equally 1-2 other areas we would require some level of clarity from. But we will appreciate it if you can go and put some more flesh in terms of detail, especially with regards to the way forward in your presentation. Okay.
The chairman, sir, I seek your indulgence and respectfully, the defense, be it Army, Air Force, Navy, and the defense headquarters, we all work in synergy. So what we will do after this hearing is we'll go back,
Okay.
we'll sit down, make a proper brief on
Fantastic.
because like I said, I spoke generally. They will just touch on the nitty-gritty, which he has just done.
Okay.
Then we'll forward everything to the committee.
Collectively.
Yes, sir, collectively.
Carried?
Thank you, sir.
Civil defense.